Okay, let's start at the top. This usually goes in the very bottom of my bag. It's spare leather for repairing my moccasins. Not only have a couple of pieces of leather for repairing them, but I cut out 2 inner soles. So when my moccasins wear through on the trail, I don't have to stop and repair them right away. I can take them off, slip a sole inside and keep going. Weighs very little and it works for me. Brass wire has many uses, repairing stuff, making snares. A heap of sinew, again, for repairing my moccasins mostly, stitching them up. This is a swan shot mould, which I carry in the bottom of the bag as well. Most of the heavy stuff goes in the bottom. I also have a small punch here for small shot, for bird shot. I can just beat out the lead flat into a small plate and then cut the shot out with this, so I don't run out. Pop that in there so I don't lose it. Some copper wire, same thing again, not for snares but for repairs. Good for repairing broken stocks. I don't carry much of it because I don't need much of it. It's something you can use and use again, so I don't need too much of that. Spare steel for fire lighting and some spare flints. I've never had to use it, but it weighs very little and it's worth carrying. That I just knocked off the log was actually my awl, again for making leather repairs and repairing moccasins and making new ones if I have to. A whetstone for sharpening blades, a metal file again for sharpening blades, lead ball. I don't carry much, I don't need to, and 2 bars of lead that I picked up one time and didn't get round to making into ball. I don't carry much lead because I really don't need to. I'd sooner carry more gunpowder. I can retrieve spent lead from shot game and just go on forever with that, so it's not a problem. The only thing I'm likely to run out is gunpowder, and I have some gunpowder bags in my market wallet, and this is one I carry in the actual knapsack itself. When it's not in use, I carry, when I've used up the powder in one of these, then I put tinder in to keep it dry, and the fact that it's had gunpowder in the bag, it makes it quicker to catch a spark. Beeswax candle, just in case I want to do any writing in my diary. Gun tools. I've had a few occasions, or a couple of occasions, where I've needed to repair a lock. I can actually use a flintlock even if the lock breaks. I can either turn it into a matchlock or a tinder lock and still continue to use it. But it's easier if I can just keep it going as a flintlock. So I carry a few spare parts and some tools in there to repair the lot, just in case. Wooden spoon for eating. Medical, mostly material for binding wounds. I know where there's some spike rush. I know where to find that, so I can make disinfectant out of that if I need it. My sewing kit, or a housewife, or hussif if you like. I need that, of course, for repairing clothes, for repairing moccasins. Soap and a piece of comb. Was bigger than that, but the comb broke, so I just carry a small part of it now. Tea and a cup. You can see the handle on this cup is one I've put on myself. The thing with cups is that they have soldered handles, and when you put them on the fire to boil water or to cook in, invariably it gets too hot and the handles fall off, and that's what's happened here. So I've made myself a handle. Food, dried corn, oilcloth, market wallet. The market wallet I secure under the flap. I don't carry the market wallet so I can carry more. I use the market wallet so that I can disperse my gear better. I don't want this knapsack crammed with stuff and then have to pull everything out to search for something that I need. This is enough to carry in there. And the heavy stuff goes in the bottom, which I rarely use. So the only things that are really at the top that I want to get out would be my cup, the food, cloth for binding wounds, my spoon. That's about it, really. The rest of the stuff can stay buried in the bottom till I need it. I carry a rum bottle in here, plus some more gunpowder bags, and also some rope. I sometimes find it a lot easier to just string game up to dress it rather than doing it on the ground. It depends on where I am and what sort of weather I'm in, but yeah, it's good. I've also had a few occasions where I've had to traverse some pretty steep places, and the rope's been very handy for that when I'm working with somebody else. So I always carry some rope with me. A blanket roll back here. My blanket roll has some spare clothing inside for winter. Rather than carry more than one blanket, I just carry some extra clothes, woolen waistcoat, woolen shirt, Monmouth cap, and some mittens. And I put those on over the clothes that I've already got. Or I can take these clothes off, put them on, and put my ordinary clothes back on top. It just depends. Whether I've got time to take these off. If I've been perspiring and they're damp, well, then I need to take these clothes off and dry them. If that doesn't happen, if I don't have a chance to do that, then I just take the clothes off, put my dry stuff on, and put the damp stuff on over the top. I don't want the damp stuff next to my skin, because in winter I'm just going to freeze. Spare moccasins, I don't know if I covered that, but that's a spare pair there. If you're out for any length of time, I find it's a good idea. It's not just a matter of something wearing out. I can fix that and that with the leather. But if they get really wet, it's really good to have another pair that I can change into whilst my others are drying. That's about it really. I do carry another ball mould in my bag, and as I say, that's the ball mould. That's the ball that I use in my fusel, and that's the only reason it's in there, is because when I shoot game, I retrieve the lead from the game, and I remould the ball to reuse. So it's not a matter of carrying a lot of lead in your shooting pouch or even in your knapsack. You don't really need to do that. You just need to make sure that when you're butchering the game, you get your spent lead back, so you can remould it into whatever you want to do with it. Shot, round ball, swan shot, whatever. It lasts a lot longer that way. Okay, I'm going to have to leave you now because it's starting to get late and I've still got a ways to go, and I've got to pack this stuff back in my bag. And okay, thanks again for watching. I hope that's cleared up some aspects of the gear. Oh, one other thing I did want to cover. I've had a few people mention the fact that if you're so skilled, not meaning me necessarily, but woodsmen in general, why do you need to carry so much gear? Well, actually, when you look at it, there's very little gear here. But you need to understand that the main reason this is here is for ease of living and comfort. Many of us, myself included, can go out into the bush with very little. We can make our own tools, we can hunt game, we can trap game, we can make fire, we can do all that without any of this. But it is a much harder lifestyle, much harder, and really there is little point. There may come a stage where we may lose this when we're out on the trail, for one reason or another. We may have to leave camp without it in a hurry, and if we do, well, then those skills come into play, and they will keep us alive until we get back home again. But there is no point in travelling in the wilderness without giving yourself a little bit of comfort. This amount of gear is only carried when I'm on a long trip. Basically, I've got to go somewhere for a particular reason, and it's a long way, and there's going to be several nights or many nights out sleeping in the wilderness. In that case, I need to take this with me because I don't know what may happen in between leaving and arriving. If I was hunting, I wouldn't bother carrying this, obviously. If I was doing a quick scout, if I was ranging for one of the local communities, I would probably not carry all this. There'd be no point. I need to be able to travel light and travel as fast as I'm able to. And I would sooner carry more arms on me and less gear. More arms for protection, because if I'm out there on my own, or even if I'm out there with one other, just having one gun, for instance, might not be enough, no matter how fast you can load it. So in that particular case, I'd be wanting to carry, as I say, more arms and less general gear. I've got a fairly large powder horn. It's not so large that if anything happens I lose a lot of powder, but it's fairly large and it gets me through most situations. And as I say, on long trips I carry my gunpowder bags, so I have plenty. Alright, now I think I really am finished again. Thanks for watching, and I do hope that's explained more clearly about the gear that we carry and why we carry it. Okay, see you next time.